And welcome to another Tucson Means Business, right here on Tucson Business Radio, broadcasting live, actually, out of the Stuart Title corporate offices on Broadway here in Tucson, and proudly sponsored by the 49ers Golf and Country Club, as they have done so for the last 2.5 years. And of course, as you know, the club is open golf-wise, and normal restrictions are still going as far as the eatery is concerned, with the Rincon Grill, and people are dining in, taking away, and so on. Things are starting to come back to normal, but of course, the old mask trick and the sitting apart is still going on, but they're open for business, so keep that in mind, all right? The 49ers Golf and Country Club on Tankerverde Road on the right-hand side. You can't miss it. I'm your host, Mark Bishop, and here's another show. Interesting today, something new has opened in town, and I'm going to play a guessing game for a little while. I'm going to introduce you to two key people, two key roles in this brand new thing that I'm talking about, and you can guess as we go along. And my first, well, he's a native of Cedar Rapids. Isn't somebody always? I mean, we're all from somewhere, aren't we, huh? In Iowa. He's a graduate of Iowa State University, beginning his professional career in Tucson at Gates Learjet Corporation. Now, some of you, oh, hang on, I know who this might be. Was that the job that brought you to Tucson, Joseph Esberg?
Yeah, that of avionics buyer. I was at Rockwell International at Collins Avionics Division in Cedar Rapids right out of college, and one of our clients was Gates Learjet. Rockwell International is the largest manufacturer, Rockwell Collins, of avionics in the world. And one of our clients, Gates Learjet, was absent a avionics buyer, and a year and a half out of college, the head of the purchasing department said, "Joe, are you interested in changing your environment?" And I said, "Heck yes." Even though Iowa was a great place to raise a family, and I was eager to get into marketing and public relations, and the opportunity opened up that would open up soon after that buyer's position, and I decided to move here to Tucson, and boy, was it a difference.
Well, what was the job actually, Joe? What was your role?
To purchase avionics equipment for the series 30 series and 50 series Learjets that were being manufactured primarily out of Tucson, and we also did manufacturing out of Wichita, Kansas, and eventually the decision was made to move most of the manufacturing to Wichita, where a lot of avionics are manufactured, and the opportunity arose for me to be a partner in an ad agency, which is really where I ultimately wanted to be, and I did that for the next about 33 years.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a heck of a background, which really supersedes this wonderful new position you've taken on.
Yes.
It's given you all the training you need. But,
yes, sir.
Being involved with Learjets conjures up all sorts of illusions of fun and travel. In reality, how was it?
It was really great with one exception. They decided to take me on a test flight of a DME piece of equipment, and decided that they were going to cruise the desert floor and then bank hard and go upwards very quickly. And fortunately for me, I was able to stop what was getting ready to happen. But that was really a low point in my avionics career. But it was really an awesome place to work. And I know when they left, I think they're now part of a different enterprise that retrofits jets there. But it was really a wonderful experience and a great way to come to Tucson, Arizona as a youngster.
Well, I know it's a pretty big deal in Phoenix, out there at Scottsdale, with Learjets lobbing every 5 minutes from all around the country.
A lot of end users there,
yes.
Yes.
A lot of end users. So you were then attracted to become, we touched on it before, but a partner in Erceg, Sitton and Brat Advertising, is that right?
That's right.
Okay. How did that come about?
Well, I decided I was going to ease into the advertising world by way of the ad agency business, and did a lot of my field of studies in college was about advertising and marketing and public relations, and had some sales experience as well. So decided I'd partner up with a gentleman that was starting an ad agency, and did that for about 2.5 years. And another fellow came along and said, "How'd you like large client experience?" And so had the opportunity to work for a couple of home builders here in southern Arizona, and the brand new Lowe's Ventana Canyon Resort, and some other larger clients. So decided to take that and learn more. Learned about a lot of hard retail marketing and restaurant marketing from handling the McDonald's advertising account for Southern Arizona.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you seem like an experience of learning on the go.
Yes,
when you took that on,
great description.
And you had a natural ability to just slide into that crazy world because it ain't easy.
I think as long as someone takes, and this is what made it really an easy transition to my present position. If someone takes the position that their focus is on the customer and understanding the customer's marketing challenges and identifying what that key marketing challenge is and finding a way to overcome it, and using the tools from that media, and you're of course in one of those media, to accomplish that, then it's easy. You're always looking for the best solution. If you can't help somebody, you should be honest enough to share that with them. But helping people should come naturally to some people, and if you can do that and help them grow their business, then that's kind of a win-win.
Yeah, it's a buzz, isn't it? I enjoy that. Helping small, medium businesses get further.
Yes.
Well, it must have been in your wheelhouse, Joe, as they say, because you spent the next 30 years in management and marketed several ad agencies, worked in account management for local radio, television, and outdoor companies.
Yes.
All here in Tucson.
All in Tucson.
You've seen a lot happen over the years.
I have, and you and I have talked off microphone, of course, about the gradual the change in media and the impact that the internet has had in digital marketing and social media and the world of advertising, and it's been very interesting. Through it all, talk radio and radio that is out there talking to businesses about what it is that they do, and also, of course, the political landscape helps contribute to that. But talk radio is surviving in an otherwise difficult environment. That's all about that handheld piece of instrument in your hand, and radio is surviving and finding ways to be able to adjust and adapt to that. And of course, in order to send people to your website, you've got to invite them to the party. And a lot of people that have active websites are finding using radio is a great way to do that.
We're alluring to the fact what this fellow does. Have you guessed it yet? He's done an awful lot. It's only $64,000 prize, so, it's up to you. But we'll get there, okay? I just wanted to give you some background on him, why he deserves what he got. The other good-looking fella at the table today, his name is Mr. Matthew Hogg. Does it ring a bell at all? Matthew Hogg, I know that name. He's a former resident of Austin in Texas. Well, we won't hold that against him, will we? But this is where you found your calling to cuisine. When you were 5 years old, cooking with Dad.
Yes, sir.
Right? What a great thing to do. What was his favorite? In fact, what was your favorite?
My favorite was always the T-bone steak, mashed potatoes, Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, meat and potato, man. Huh?
Definitely meat and potatoes guy.
Me too. Who isn't, huh? But seriously, 5 years old is pretty young. You didn't want to be a fireman? Didn't want to be a policeman?
Actually, at that time, I didn't really know what I wanted to be. It was just kind of just liked hanging out in the kitchen and making some good food and stuff like that. And when I was actually in high school, I was actually working my way towards a chemical engineering degree.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. See, now when you look at your background, we know that you have become, so I'm going to let the cat out the bag a little bit. We know he's become a top chef. All right. This is Chef Matt. This passion, did it carry through to high school for you from when you were very young?
Oh, yeah, of course. I would always cook for my friends and family and stuff like that. Thanksgivings are always great, just kind of helping out with everybody in the kitchen and, working in different restaurants and stuff like that during high school. Just that kind of controlled chaos. I just really fell in love with it. And
Interesting, because you did want to be something else.
Yeah.
You had your mind sort of focused on doing another career, another lifestyle.
Well, technically, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm just doing it with food.
You're doing it with food. Okay, so you attended Texas Culinary Academy School, Le Cordon Bleu?
Yes, sir.
Ooh. A 2 to 3 year endeavor or longer?
So it's actually a 2-year program that they squeeze down into 1 year. So you do like 2-week intervals of different, baking and you still have to do all the different, culinary 101 and culinary 102. And then you got garde manger, which is like your cold kitchen. Then you also have your normal like English, math, psychology, stuff like that as
Really? Because I've always been, Joe, I've always wondered what goes on in these places. I've never been privileged to get inside. Never
They
squeezed.
actually, I was like, I think 2 years after I graduated, they stopped doing the degree program. So now it's just a certificate program. So they just have the baking or the cooking courses. They don't actually have the actual general education stuff.
Well, Matt, if you wouldn't mind, just give us a bit of an idea, right, for the listeners. What would a typical day be like in the world of Le Cordon Bleu?
You would get there, you check in, then depending on what class you're taking, you do like the chef instructor would demonstrate what you're doing. You go over different techniques and stuff like that, and then you pretty much have a time limit on when you'd have to have it ready by, and you break off into teams, and everybody would work together to get the dishes or however many dishes or single dish, multiple dishes done at a certain time.
Mm-hmm. Do you literally start off washing dishes?
Yeah, I
a discipline,
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to learn how to know how to wash dishes. I mean,
there's an art in that too, isn't there?
I didn't. My culinary career, I didn't exactly start off washing dishes, but I have worked at restaurants where I did start off washing dishes. But that usually lasts for about 2 months before somebody gets fired or quits or something like that. They're like, "Hey, we need some help over here," and then
right.
You kind of prove yourself, sort of thing, and they're like, "All right, you're here from now on."
Tough business. So you ever hear, you're either hit from one way or another. You can't get staff, or there's a recession. If it's not that, there's a damn COVID-19 hanging around the corner, right?
That was definitely
or something else. It's incredible. Well, you must have listened hard and studied hard, Matt, because after culinary school, you quickly rose through the ranks and joined Club Core family in 2014. And this was as an executive sous chef.
Yes, sir.
Right at the Baylor Club in Waco, Texas. Yeah? Top club?
Waco, Texas.
That's where all the wackos are in Texas, is that right?
That's what they used to call it. From
but everything's big in Texas.
But also national champions in basketball.
That's true. They did just win the national championship.
Well, if we talk sport, this guy knows his sport, I'll tell you that. So, sous chef, what's the difference?
So the sous chef is, I'll be honest, your sous chef is the backbone of your club. They're the one that does everything and makes sure everything gets done. They actually have T-shirts out there that's like sous chef, making the chef look great for X amount of years or whatever.
Right. But that's where you really learn your craft.
Yes, that's where you learn. You don't necessarily learn your craft as a sous chef, but you learn how to manage better as a sous chef.
All right.
So you start learning your craft throughout the years, and then it's your craft that gets you into that sous chef role or executive sous chef role, and then that's where you start learning how to manage and run the numbers and cost things out and stuff like that.
Well, at this stage of the game, you must have been pretty settled in your career. You were happy?
When I was at Baylor?
Yeah,
I was pretty decent. I always wanted to move up, keep moving up and moving forward. I don't like to just sit in one place for too long.
Well, the reason I ask that is because it's well known that chefs don't tend to last long. They don't in Australia anyway. They'll go somewhere. I don't know why the money's not good enough or the hours are too hard on you or whatever the deal is. But you're paid very well. And I always used to think, what a career that would be if you could travel the world. Being paid well. You did it. Now, your skills and ability in the kitchen, they led to a promotion and a relocation then to the Plaza Club in San Antonio.
Yes, sir.
Which is in Texas. Back in 2017?
It was about 2017, somewhere around there.
Okay. This was another Club Core destination.
Club, yes.
Yeah.
So it was another Club Corp location. There was rumors, or I had gotten word that they were wanting me to take over another stadium club, which is what I really wanted. But it was not under contract yet. So they didn't stick me there. They promoted me to this position to see what I could do, to see if I could be, if I could turn this club around, because it was kind of a failing club, if you will.
Well, two interesting points there. When you say turn something like that around, we're talking about patrons really know food, right? And the food can change a place incredibly.
Yes.
This is the angle we're getting at here.
Yeah.
Right?
Like when I got there, they were only doing like 4 covers a night. By, my second month there, we were doing like 40, 50 covers a night sort of thing.
Okay. What's a cover?
So it covers anybody that walks in the door.
Oh, okay. So like a PAX in...
Like a patron.
Like a patron or a PAX in travel or something like that.
Yes.
Bums on seats, right? Yes. Okay. And clear the table and next one, and the next one, the next one.
Sir.
So you really know your stuff. You turn it around with food and that went on. Were you still a sous chef at this stage? No, you would have been a top chef.
I was an executive chef there. And then we got bought out by another company. They bought the club that I was at, and the Club Corp didn't want to lose me, so that they were working on the University of Arizona, and so that's when I got the call and was like, hey, you want to you're interested in this job? And I was like, oh, where's Tucson?
Well, the other question that I was going to ask was, you talked about a stadium scenario. Break that down for us so we understand.
So we have what are called stadium clubs.
Now, we're talking about Club Corp itself. They're a huge corporation,
so
right?
Club Corp has golf clubs, city clubs, athletic clubs, and stadium clubs. That's the big division they're trying to get into now. And when I was at Baylor, we only had 4 clubs. There was Baylor, University of Texas, Texas Tech, and Florida State. And they would, during football season and stuff like that, when we would cater to all the premium suites. So they would actually, whenever, like, say, Baylor didn't have a game and Florida State had Miami coming up, and they would ship me around to all the different clubs and to help out for all the food services. And for a while there, I don't think I still am, but for a while there, I was the only chef in the company that actually had been to all the different stadium clubs.
Well, that's good experience, isn't it? We can call on you for that. So
good to see a lot of
well done, man. I mean, you still look young. I didn't ask you, but you look young. I mean, you've earned your career. You've earned your stripes, as they say, right? And now you've got a big challenge ahead of you, which brings us back to, by the way, you're listening to Tucson Means Business with your host, Mark Bishop, and I've got the brand new membership director of what? Of the Sands Club. Did you get it? No, but too bad. You had 64 grand. You had your chance. All right. Here in Tucson, and it's rolled out. Well, this particular guy who I'm talking to is the membership director now. And to him, I guess, it rolls off his back like water off a duck's back with all that he had done before that had prepared him. That would be a fair assessment, Joe, wouldn't it?
Yeah. As soon as I left the advertising world, I got involved in chamber and association management. There was a chamber of commerce at a city or a community rather just south of Tucson that I was president and CEO.
That's the Green Valley one?
Yes, sir.
Right,
yes,
okay.
Sir. And then the Arizona Small Business Association was another opportunity for me to work in the realm of association management. And again, you're working with business owners and decision makers. And
right.
It was a great, both of those were great experiences.
Well, you worked as both a professional and a volunteer in the event management industry and sports marketing arenas.
Yes.
Tell us about that. How did you fall into that one?
Well, sports is really my passion. And for example, back in 1989 and 90, I did a McDonald's Western Wildcat Classic National High School All-Star Basketball game at McHale Center, and helped start the Grand Canyon State Games, which is like the Olympics for the people of Arizona. That's actually part of a national association of state games, and was on the Fiesta Bowl Basketball Classic committee for about 12 years, and was involved with the startup of the Arizona Bowl here at Arizona Stadium, where we have our club here, and a number of other just amateur athletic things at events that that's what I'm very passionate about.
Well, it's a big mixture. That was 2015. I want to touch on the Small Business Association. It's been hit hard, hasn't it, with the pandemic?
Yeah, it has.
In fact, all of the chamber clubs have, haven't they?
It's been a challenge, but the chambers of commerce here in Metro Tucson and the surrounding communities, they're still strong. It was a challenge. Sometimes when you're a small business person, you've got some major priorities that in most cases come before memberships and advertising and things like that. You have to pay your staff and your product and your rent
and utilities.
Utilities,
just
absolutely.
keeping the down door open, right?
That's right. They've got a lot of things to keep the business going. So, Arizona Small Business Association, their sole function was to come alongside small businesses. And one of the things that was a real driver before Obamacare came along was offering health care for small businesses. People that work for large companies have the opportunity to get health care at a significant less savings over what people would, you and I would buy health care for. And at that time, before Obamacare came along, there was an association healthcare policy that small business owners were able to invest in. And boy, membership was through the roof at that time for people that wanted to hold down on their healthcare costs. And
yeah. You've touched on sport 3 times. I mean, where did you get your love for amateur sports? I mean, your dedication in our community is well known. You've demonstrated as a volunteer for a number of organizations, including the Fiesta Bowl, Grand Canyon State Games, the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl, El Tour de Tucson,
and
Pima County Sports Authority.
Yes.
does this go back to when you were very young? I mean, what leads you towards sports?
Well, of course, I never was a professional athlete. I didn't have those genes. but I sure, loved sports, and I was a real huge Olympics fan. And I think it was really the Olympics that inspired me to want to get into the event management realm. And so,
but just by watching them on TV every 4 years when they're on, you like the Olympics, Matt?
Oh yeah,
we all get sucked up in that, don't we? It's pretty exciting, really.
Yeah. I was a pole vaulter when I was a kid. So
how about that?
But I have to share with you, when I was a sophomore in high school, I was 4'11 3/4, and I remember that because I was restricted to the use of a seat cushion on my license.
Oh, really?
And it did not impress the ladies at that point in time. But so I was a wrestler and a gymnast. Even though my passion was baseball and football, and I just was never big enough to compete, on a varsity level in those sports. But
that didn't stop
sports.
you, man. I mean, you still did something, and that's what it's all about.
Yes,
you're a passionate supporter of U of A, of course.
Oh, you betcha.
It's the University of Arizona. For those that may be visiting and haven't got a clue, it's a passion shared by your darling wife.
Yes.
I think it's Delina.
Yes, good job.
Okay, hi, Delina. She played and coached high school and college basketball. How did she do?
Played two-guard at University of Wisconsin, and I'm limping around in an injury. I tore my Achilles, and she did the same thing playing basketball 7 years ago. And she is a huge sports fan, and Coach Olson, when he was with us, had a camp, and she helped him run his basketball camp. But moving to Arizona, I kind of gravitated from being a Hawkeye and Cyclone fan to being a Wildcat fan, and we're getting some really good competition going here in the world of women's basketball, finishing second there, and we have a brand new football coach, and we're interviewing for a new basketball coach. So a lot of change here, but
I believe the female one's available. I mean, you might be able to.
Well, no, actually, that female coach is she could run for governor right now, at least, and win in this community. She is Adia Barnes, Coach Adia Barnes. The Lady Cats finished second in the country, and that place was on fire. Supporting, every event that we did, game watch parties for U of A women's basketball was sold out and oversold and waiting lists.
Right. Well, I mean, it's fantastic. When I first came here, my wife's from Tucson. She's a Tucsonan. When was it? Steve Kerr was playing.
Yes.
To give you an idea then of those of the years. And Lute, of course, was
1983 is when
way
Lute
back.
and
There
Steve
you go.
got here.
Yeah, we were big time then. Don't know what's happened since, but never mind. We'll get back.
Yes,
but I've never seen U of A mad as a football, college. It's trying. It's trying, but I think in some ways it's unfair of it to try and compete with some of these others that way. I mean, our ball game was basketball, right?
Well, the number one game in Tucson has been basketball for quite some time, but we've had some competitive teams here. We've kind of fallen on hard times, and thus we have, again, a new coach, but he's calling the right signals, I think, don't you, Matt? He's hired some U of A greats like Ricky Hunley, the College Football Hall of Fame. And
so he's surrounding himself with some good people?
Yes, he is, and guys that graduated from the program.
New one, right?
Yes.
The brand new one.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, Coach Fish is doing a great job.
Well, good. Okay, well, then we can look forward to something then. That's good to know.
We are.
Before I get off that sort of stuff, Sean, Alec, and Maddie?
Yes.
They're your children. Okay, they're grown up now. They love competing in sports too.
Yeah, they do. My daughter is actually a stand-up comedian, a Pepperdine graduate in radio or media and theater production, and my son Alec is a graduate of Eller School of Management, and my stepson Sean is a former high school football quarterback, and all the kids are really passionate about sports.
Fantastic. And your side of your neck of the woods, Matt, you're keen on sport? I mean, are you married?
No, I'm single.
Not yet single. They girls, I'm telling you. Not only, but he can cook. He might leave his clothes all over the floor, but he can cook.
And a great guy.
And a great guy to boot, yeah. Your career and background, sport-wise, did you get into much?
Yeah, I was actually, I played football. I wrestled when I was a kid as well. I was actually really big into track and field. I was a pole vaulter. I was actually number one in the nation for the age of 13 to 16.
Oh, well done.
Injured my back and
I was into that.
Yeah, I was kind of into that, and then that's
Time to
when I really
cook.
fell into cooking.
He fell into cooking.
Literally.
Oh, he pole vaulted into cooking. Yeah, right. From one end of the kitchen to the other. Well, now you're a Tucson resident. Mm-hmm. And what are your plans for the famous Arizona Sands Club?
Just to really turn this, I want to turn the Arizona Sands Club into the poster child for the Stadium Club division. We're the only stadium club that actually feeds all the student athletes as well.
And this is for Club Corp, right?
Yes.
They're a division of stadium clubs.
Yes.
And are there many of those around America?
There are. There's 4 of them. Other than us, we actually just signed 2 more, which is Utah and Virginia Tech.
Okay.
There's a lot more. So again, like I said before, there's Florida State, Baylor, Texas Tech, and University of Texas. And now,
So what
Arizona.
drives this? I mean, what's behind Club Corp going after this and doing this?
It's just an awesome venue.
Is an expansion of resorts is one thing, golf clubs are another, but this is like what, Joe? Another division or expansion of a different market to go after.
This and Chef kind of alluded to this earlier. This is a growing division for Club Corp. The concept is awesome. It's an opportunity for a major university like University of Arizona to take a space and to have it fixed up, have us run a membership, a club that's really a combination of social and business, but also we do a lot with and for the community, nonprofit organizations. There's so many activities that take place there, and we have arguably the best chef in Southern Arizona.
Okay,
so if you combine all of those,
put all that together, and
and the ambiance is just electric. There, overlooking the field, and then on one side, on the other side, you see the Santa Catalina Mountains and a beautiful view of campus, and there's not much not to like. There's just so much positive, and the dollars and cents also really make sense for people that want an active social life and want great dining and want to also have the opportunity to build their business and social network.
So if there wasn't a Sands Club, what was in Tucson before?
Well, it's first of all, of course, the wonderful weather, and you can attest to that. But as far as social and restaurant scene, of course, we came on right in the middle of a pandemic, right? So there's, so restaurants.
Very unfair, very hard on you.
It was a challenge.
But what I'm really getting at is this: we've got terrific restaurants and have had terrific restaurants in Tucson for many, many years.
Yes.
But that's sort of really it, isn't it?
Yeah, really the big gorilla in town is and has been the University of Arizona, and things related to that in terms of the fine arts and sports. So much in this community surrounds the University of Arizona.
It's tied up with it, isn't it? In whichever way you take that out of this town, it'll be it.
But wonderful. We're very much an outdoor, although we are, what's the name of the word that I'm going to look for as far as a gastro? We're an official gastro city.
Oh, a gastronomical city
yes.
type thing, yeah.
And that we've received that designation a number of years ago. And there's plenty of things to do. There's a lot of outdoor activity here because it's just so beautiful, and the weather is seasonal outside of, mid-May to early September, and there's also fun ways to cool off, but the weather the rest of the year is just phenomenal.
So the Sands Club itself is not just geared at football fanatics,
no,
right, or basketball fanatics.
No,
it's open to Tucson.
Yeah, we have a women's committee. There's a young executives committee for business professionals between the ages of 23 and 35. We cater to the people that have season football tickets at University of Arizona, where we have a faculty and staff advisory board because we're very eager to feed and entertain and socialize faculty and staff at University of Arizona. At the other stadium clubs, roughly a third of their membership is faculty and staff at that respective school. So there's just so many things to do. There's once a month we do a complimentary midweek massage, and chef hosts a prime rib dinner.
All of them. Can we come back and get onto this because we're going to break it down? I really want to, do an expose on this brand new club, and I want to get into all the good things because if you go onto their site, folks, there's so much to read. You could be there a couple of of hours in your pajamas. I tell you what, it's worthwhile doing. But you are listening to Tucson Means Business, and it's proudly sponsored by the 49ers Golf and Country Club with the infamous Rincon Grill. For golfers out there, heading towards Reddington, it's not that far, but it's on the right-hand side, just past the school. You'll see it on Tankerville Road, and go through the gates there, and very reasonable price golf. The course is in pretty good condition, what it's been through, and you can get some good golf there, some good food at the Rincon Grill, okay? And we're going to take a message from the 49ers, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Tucson Means Business on Tucson Business RadioX right here, coming out of the Stewart Title building on Broadway. And, of course, we're proudly sponsored by the 49ers Golf and Country Club, a wonderful course and wonderful club here in Tucson. I have the Director of Memberships and Tournaments, Casey Polivchak. Casey, tournaments are a big thing for a golf club.
Absolutely. We are a semi-private club, which means we have membership available, but we also are open to the public. With being open to the public, we welcome nonprofit tournaments, fundraisers. We specialize in groups from 4 to 144.
See, this is an important thing, isn't it, in the community? Companies would love to do something for their staff, something that's different, but they don't want the course to be too hard, and they want it to be friendly. They want the service to be right, and the atmosphere to make it a really fun day.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
And that's what you strive to do, isn't it? It's part of your whole job, really.
I think that's what we specialize in is the... How am I going to say this? The tournament that's not looking at spending too much money because they're in it to make money for their charity.
Right.
So we offer really good facilities, a great golf course. But I'm going to be honest, it's not the best golf course in Tucson. It's not the nicest facilities, but everything is good out there, and your guests are going to have a good experience because of the value that they're getting for the cost of the tournament.
There you go. That's an important factor. It's all very well, wanting to have a great day out for everybody, but if it breaks the bank, then it defeats the whole purpose.
Absolutely.
And if you're trying to raise funds, which is an integral part, because Tucson seems to be a wonderful place for raising funds, there's so many people who support so many wonderful causes.
Mm-hmm. And there is a lot of, great causes out there. And, people they kind of come to a fork in the road. You got school sponsorships that, booster clubs. There's so many fundraising possibilities out there that we really have specialized in golf tournaments for people and helping them maximize the amount of money they can make. Mm-hmm. I've put together a brochure to help people that have never run a golf tournament that will kind of take them from step one until the day of the event.
That's very, very good. If people from somewhere now, maybe they're moving into Tucson with a new business, new company, whatever, how can they get hold of you directly?
They can call me directly at 520-749-4925. Extension's 212, but we recommend you go to the website. It's a great way to get information about the club on not only golf tournaments but membership. That website is 49ercc.com, FORTYNINERCC.com.
There you go. Casey Polivchak. He's the Director of Memberships and Tournaments. He's the fellow to speak to. Now back to the show. My special guests today in the show are Joseph Erceg. I got that right, haven't I?
Yes, sir.
Erceg. And, excuse me, I've just come out of another bug in the jest. Matthew Hogg. And Matthew's the executive chef of this wonderful new Sands Club, the Arizona Sands Club. Where is it located? What's the address?
Well, it's in Arizona Stadium. Hard to miss, a 56,000 capacity stadium on the campus at University of Arizona.
Okay, but I'm a particular sort of guy. I'm in the car, I'm got a lift, and I'm directing somebody. How do I find it? It's a big stadium.
Chef, I think it's 565 North Chair Avenue, and there's another address they use is One National Championship Drive.
There you go. 565 North Cherry Avenue.
That's a good one.
Beautiful.
Yes.
That's easy to look at. You can whack that in your phone.
Yes.
Right, in the thingamajig and say, take me there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wonderful stuff. I took out April alone. All right. And the committee meetings, networking seminars, monthly traditions, the rib night, the pasta night, the midweek massage night, all sorts of things, brunches, this, that, footy season things. Now, this is April. What would happen at the Arizona Sands Business Networking? Give me an idea there.
Well, it's an opportunity for people to do just that. From the start of the pandemic, there weren't a lot of people doing networking events in this community and
well,
or
it hurt
any
the
other
clubs. I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce, of course, Metro,
Yes.
and it hurt. But no one wanted to go out
No.
and mix.
No.
Everything went to the down online business with Zoom and so on. So this is starting again. People are coming
It
out.
is.
This is at 8 to 9 in the morning.
Yes.
Okay, and you've chosen that time. Why?
A lot of people that work the traditional jobs, although a lot of people are entrepreneurs and own their own businesses who do attend that event. But it's an opportune time for people to get out and have some coffee in Danish and talk business and exchange business cards.
So before the business day, so to speak,
Yes.
you can go there and do that. What would be breakfast, Matt? Give me an idea.
So we actually have a complimentary, like the continental breakfast we do. We like yogurts, danishes, fruit cups, snacks, granola bars,
Okay.
all sorts of stuff like that.
All right, a little different to the prime rib night.
Yes.
And you got me. This is 5 till 9. All right, and what, Thursday nights?
It's the
Wednesday night?
second Wednesday or third Wednesday of every month.
Third Wednesday of every month. Okay.
Actually, I haven't won a night, to
What
be
about
honest.
the Arizona football season ticket sales? Do you have nights for that? There's things for that tied up with the football.
Yeah, Mark, that's just starting up. There are, of course, skyboxes, and there's a loge underneath the skybox, and there are actually people that have season tickets in the Sands Club itself for the football season. And in fact, that's really those 6 days for home football games are the days that it's not our club. People that have season tickets and watch the games there.
Right. So let me understand. You would lose control of the Sands Club.
Yes, sir, to the
just on
University of
those
Arizona
6
Athletics.
days.
Yes.
We pretty
So
much
what,
turn
do
over.
they sit there and look out through the glass? Is that the idea?
Yes.
So those members can actually get to see that. So you must serve them, though.
Yes. So so those 6 days a year, we actually turn the club back over to the university.
Turn it back
and we
over to
just
the
turn it
university.
into the caterer.
Okie dokie. New member orientation breakfast. What's that all about?
So we try to bring new members in and just explain their benefits of becoming a member, what we do on a daily basis, what we do on a monthly basis, different types of events that we have, what they can get, free room rental fees when they try to have like corporate events or whatever, weddings, et cetera, et cetera. And we feed them breakfast to make sure their bellies are full whenever they leave. So,
Joe, has there been anything like this before in Tucson?
Well, yes and no.
Covering all of this.
There have been a couple of private clubs that did not fare very well, but they while they were in business, they were fun. But running a club is hard and it's expensive, and you have I'm talking to all the restaurateurs out there, and I don't have the knowledge that they do, nor what Chef Hogg has, but it's expensive to run a business between staff and product, and we have valet for parking for people, and it's a very tough thing to do.
Yeah.
But Club Corp, with their experience in golf and country clubs and stadium clubs and business clubs, city clubs, we have the club management business down and can manage a group of people cost effectively. But we're growing. We're still not quite at break even, but we're getting closer and closer.
Right. Well, you know what they say, even restaurants, there's no money in the food, it's all in the booze, right? But you got to make a profit, otherwise you'll be closing the doors. Let's face it. So at the end of the day, being honest, what is your booze like? Is it a full bar?
Yes, it is.
oh yeah.
Whatever you want, when you want it.
Yes.
So you get a wine night on 5 till 9 p.m. on a Wednesday. Does that mean a lot of the wine growers you've gone out and sourced to bring in their local wines?
We do that sometimes. We'll do like wine dinners and stuff like that, where we actually go find different winemakers and do focus on their wines and pair 5-6 courses with that. But our wine down Wednesdays, it's typically just a discounted wine, half bottle price of wine. So
Right. Because the Rincon Grill does that too over the years. They've had wine nights per se, and you have a different wine through the different courses, sort of thing. You do the same thing there. That's a
we also
popular
do
thing.
beer tastings, spirit tastings that we do the same thing.
And you do that as
so
well.
It's not just strictly wine. that we do.
Midweek massage, Texas Smoke Thursday. What I'm trying to get at is on the calendar alone, being a member of the club, You've got so much diversity to enjoy, whether you're a food nut, whether you just like to be social and go and have a drink. You even have dancing.
You know,
Right?
It's all about social and business. But the one thing that we haven't really touched upon,
Dancing.
why is this so successful? Because we came out of the gates and kind of we surpassed many expectations because the cost is such that it's not cost prohibitive. A lot of times for golf and country clubs and larger clubs, it's the initiation fees are steep. There's a minimum food and beverage spending amount.
And then you got your monthlies, and you got this, you got that. It's a difficult business. Golf is not, at the moment, the greatest business in the world. All right? And also the age group is going up. You can tell me now, can I afford to join this thing?
Yeah, memberships range between $30 a month to all the way up to $175 a month. It's very, very reasonable. And
So what do I get for $30?
Well, actually,
I'm not going to get that steak, am I?
No. $30. You just pretty much get access to the club.
There you go. Oh, gee, I thought it was going to be something the Battler could enjoy in this town.
But when the Club Corp came in and talked to the University of Arizona and the other universities, they really wanted to make sure that faculty and staff had an opportunity to participate and be members. And so we've held the cost down for them and young executives and people that are already strong supporters of Arizona athletics. So kind of a different price level for them. Now we have something called, which is unique to Club Corp, called the Optimal Network Experiences, ONE. And for an additional $50 a month, you receive 50% off food and beverage and non-alcoholic beverage to be able to enjoy that. And people that are in the club 2 to 3 times or more a month, they'll realize that 50% or that $50 difference on a monthly basis. And
So they get that back in no time.
Yeah.
So give me an idea. It's all, you say, look, from $30 up to $170 a month.
yes.
I mean, it's a pretty widespread, so there must be a lot of different things you get or don't get.
Well, yeah, we for example, we talked about the football season that's coming up, and those 6 home football games, our members will receive a complimentary tailgate experience that will be launching for the
Was
first
this in
time.
the 171?
For the $75 or the $30 membership. The basic social membership does include that and complimentary continental breakfast that Chef mentioned that turns into a hospitality station. And we have all sorts of member programming things that we do for our members. It's not unusual to see, for example, on the final day of the Masters, we have access to, through the University of Arizona Athletics, the Jumbotron across the field. It's like watching a big screen television in your living room.
Okay.
And we'll have, for the Kentucky Derby, we'll have that on the big screen television. And
You have bookies too?
Actually,
Like a
bookies
day
are
at the
coming.
races.
We're working
That's
on
fun.
some sort of we're still planning a little bit, but we are working on some
You
sort
get the
of
legalities going there,
some
get
fun
the legals.
money betting going on sort of thing.
That's great.
For prizes, of
Well,
course.
I'd love to see that with money going to charity as well. That'd be really good. But, to go to the races, part of the fun was the boogies.
Yes.
And if you have them, and then seeing you got them, we might as well have some roulette over here as well and throw some darts. A real gambling day at the Arizona
Did you
Club.
hear that just today they announced that they're going to have sports gambling in Arizona, and it'll be launched just before football season goes up. And they're anticipating this being hundreds of millions of dollars for the Arizona economy, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, for state funds, huh? Boy, could we do with a little bit there.
Yes.
But, it sounds like, to me, I was reading too, tell me if I'm wrong, but I was reading on the site where it's sort of like 2 clubs in one.
Yeah.
Explain that to us.
Well, first of all, and technically 3, because his dining is superb. It is, and I have not heard a person that has come other than going on and on about how awesome the food is.
You know what? I read about people don't talk when they eat his food. You know why? Because they're so darn good, they shut up. They just want to do it. You've, in fact, got a question, haven't you, Matthew? I was going, I don't know. What's the biggest thing people say to you as a top chef?
They really don't say much to me. It's more just like kind of applause, like, oh my God, this is so good.
That's what I was getting at. They're too busy eating CJ to talk much. But he
business
does get
and
a lot of
social.
compliments,
Absolutely, he does. Business and social, and dining, and all the activities that take place at the club.
What's the dress sense?
Business casual. We don't want holey jeans and flip flops. This is Tucson, Arizona. Home
I know
of
it's
casual
everywhere, but you get sick of it, mate. It'd be nice to dress up. You know what I mean?
And we do have a standard, and the members know it, and they are allowed to invite guests to come. You can't dine at the club unless you're either a member or with a member.
Do they have the sports jackets or coats or ties?
Yeah,
none of that.
They're welcome.
It can be just a shirt, a nice tailored shirt.
Yes,
short sleeve or whatever.
A really great pair of blue jeans and a jacket, casual jacket. That would be
that would work too. Sort of thing. Yeah, I'm trying to get it. It's not snobby. No. It's for everybody. It's affordable in different areas.
And the great thing about it too is you'll even see if you're sitting there dining for lunch or for dinner, you'll see the coaches come up, and sit down and have a drink at the bar or order some food, or
so we can go and bell the hell out of them. Why not? I'm not going upstairs. No way. So the Arizona Sands Club. Who named that?
There's a gentleman, Buzzard Sands is his name, and he was a Phi Gamma Delta at the University of Arizona, and he made a major contribution to the construction of the Lowell Stevens football facility, which is the facility on the north end zone upon which the Sands Club sits. So we are on the 5th floor of that Lowell Stevens football facility.
So that's how it all came about, right? And was there a lot of money needed to be spent on renovations to open and start, or did you take it as it was?
Yeah, over $4 million was invested in chefs' kitchens. And,
wow, that's some kitchen, mate.
And what's that plating called that you have? What's that called? The plating that you have? It's hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of
special what?
Oh,
glasses and plates.
So like our CGS, like our China glass and silverware. We spent probably over $500,000 on that
Very
alone.
nice. So
that's on top of the.
So we're talking about white tablecloth dining.
It's not tablecloth, but it's really upscale casual. It's borderline fine dining.
Right.
Yes.
But it's not McDonald hard cheese, right?
No.
Okay, fair enough. You won me. After all. So $30 a month through to $170 a month. What's the initial joining fee?
That also is extremely reasonable. That's another thing that's attractive is we have a membership special going on right now.
Now, just give me the money, Joe.
Well, it's a whopping $100. But wait, there's more.
Okay, all right.
$50 of that goes to the club. The other $50 we're donating to the University of Arizona campus pantry.
Okay.
So each month we pick a local charity to support.
Charity, right.
American Heart Association in the month of February, for example.
Good.
Make-A-Wish Foundation last month.
So every month there is.
Yes, sir.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And the $50 each month.
Yep.
Right, goes into that.
The 50. It's just a one-time initiation fee.
Okay,
and that's a special that's going on right now
from each new member in that particular month, and then 50
right.
of that goes to that. That's a nice idea.
Yes,
and one can afford to get in. Now it's the continue on, and I think if you think about what you could spend, Matt. If you went out with the mates or took your wife, not that there's anywhere really to go dancing, is there? Unless you're disco age.
Well, Mark, I think right now I might be outdating myself a little bit, Chef, because they're a brand new menu. But is the $44 cowboy steak the most expensive entree on the menu?
Yeah, it's $49.
$49. Okay.
It's a 16-ounce bone-in ribeye.
Right. And what would you serve with that as a matter?
So it actually comes with like a loaded mashed potatoes and like a burgundy mushroom ragu.
Okay.
But with that one membership, you get that at 50% off.
Yeah.
That's darn good.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's very good.
See, we know
what sort of desserts?
The thing is, we know that they're paying on a monthly basis to be able to come in and purchase stuff at the club. So we definitely don't gouge. Fair enough. Just to throw some.
And what about drink prices? Are they reasonable too?
Oh yeah, they're great.
Okay.
We do our community hour runs from 3 to 6 every day, where it's like half price on pretty much everything.
So from 3 till 6 is like a happy hour.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We call it community hour.
Right. Community hour, I like that, yeah. And have you invited the police in yet? They're good friends, I hope.
We love our heroes. And by the way, we are very active in the community when we do those. When I mentioned the fundraising part, we raised $4,100 for the American Heart Association in February.
Oh, well done. Good job.
So we're very,
Joe,
very strong.
No need to
citizens.
tell you, there are so many organizations in need in the city.
Yes.
I think there's 3,500 alone of not-for-profits.
We lead the nation in the number of nonprofit organizations per capita in Southern Arizona.
That's pretty good. That's not bad at all. So, you know what? This is exciting. Dancing is when? Saturday night or every night of the week? Or, when could you take your wife and your girlfriend, or both of them for that matter? I mean,
Well, a lot of people use the club socially, but frankly, I haven't.
We haven't done any dancing yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that dance when U of A wins baseball and football. And
you
basketball
don't have a
games.
band then?
No. Oh, no, we do. We do have.
That's what I read somewhere.
Yes, sir.
You've got
Yes, sir.
music.
Yeah, we do have music.
I don't mean some old fella sitting in the corner with a concertina. I'm talking about
much
a
of
band.
There are bands and there's individuals that play, especially on Fridays.
Yeah,
pretty much every Friday.
night
There you
we
go
have live
then.
music.
Fabulous.
There's just so much to do.
People want this, Joe.
Yes, they want to be together.
They also need to socialize,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And they do need to have a bit of music in their life.
And
a
they're
bit of
coming out now to do that.
Bye, gee, like flies on you know what. That's good. It's the Arizona Sands Club. It's in Cherry Tree. What is it? Cherry Pine Street?
565 North Cherry Avenue.
North Cherry Avenue. It's literally in the building.
It's on the north end of Arizona Stadium.
North end of the stadium. $4 million
Yeah, it's
spent on getting this thing ready.
but it's a great investment, and the University of Arizona loves the fact that we're there to help their faculty and staff have a good social and restaurant life. And
Well, that's good.
We're really,
That's good.
really
But Club Corp
happy
put
to
the
be
money
there.
in, right?
Yes,
So good on them for putting the money up front and doing it in. Good for Tucson,
good for Tucson.
isn't it?
Yes.
And now, there's something we haven't mentioned, because I can tell you don't play golf.
Oh no, I do.
I do. I'm a keen golfer.
And I
read that I can go to these beautiful other clubs.
Mark, I'm so glad of that lead-in that you gave me, because that one membership provides for people that have that one membership. They get 2 complimentary rounds of golf per month at all of our awesome golf courses throughout the country. Plus, they get 2 complimentary 3-course meals at any of our city clubs. And people can go on and online and look up clubcorp.com and see all the places we have clubs across America. But the half off, the one membership is not just half off of dining at the Sands Club, but all those great golf and food dining benefits at other clubs across the country.
That sounds fantastic. So for people on holidays, on the road, in the car, holidays coming up, want to travel, we get a lot of people here visiting who play golf. Of course, a lot of the market is taken up by Phoenix, but we're trying more and more to get them to come to Tucson. And I meet so many alone at the 49ers who come from other states, love coming here. But we love to travel. And if nothing else, we can hit the road. But now we're starting to fly again. But to think that some of these clubs, I mean, just off the top of my head, Joe, some big names.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Firestone in Ohio. Is one of-
PGA
Yes.
stuff I'm talking about here.
You bet.
Oof, beautiful. Very good. So that's a pretty good deal, isn't it?
And we have an 800 number that people that are members just call that 800 number, and they
So the
kind of a
service is there
concierge
too.
and
Oh,
set them
very
up for
nice.
dining and golf across the country.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen, the Arizona Sands Club. And we were lucky to have the membership director, Joseph Erceg, and the chief cook and bottle washer and ex-sous chef come top boy now. He's the top chef, Matthew Hogg. Matthew Hogg, remember that name, because he makes the best steak in town, they tell me.
Yep.
And a few other things too. I'll tell you what, Matt, I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you straight. I know. But I think with the man, Joe, how did you pull this guy? You're lucky with all this experience.
Yeah, he was actually the second guy, or first or second guy that got hired.
Yeah, it was the very first one. And technically, since our original general manager had to bow out for medical reasons, I'm actually the longest tenured employee
Right.
club now.
Yes, of course, Mr. Goldberg, right? We're talking about...
Scott Goldberg is now, he's our general manager.
Yes, and we'll get him on the show one day.
Yes.
I'm glad you came, though, Joe. It's been
Thank
a long
you.
time. And, Matt, I wish you all the best in the world,
Thanks,
mate.
sir.
You know, you've come to Tucson. It's like a whole new life for you, a new career.
Oh, yeah.
And are you into golf yourself?
Oh, yeah. I love golfing.
All right, come out as my guest of the 49ers sometime. I'd love you to have you.
I'd love to.
And,
Great course.
And Joe, it'd be great. It's a tough course.
And you get that southwestern upscale ambiance there at the 49ers country
The
clubs.
funny thing, Joe, about it is, I'm only a hacker still, 16, 18 type guy. I'm not a star or anything, but the reality is we've had a lot of people join, Matt, who come in with like 2, 3 handicaps.
Gotcha.
Noses up a little bit, come from very well-to-do clubs and so on. And, this thing I should be able to knock off in no time. Within 6 months, they're out to 8, 10, 12. Dude.
Yeah, I'm one of those types. Last couple of times I went to go play, I didn't lose a ball, so I was actually happy about that.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Do not underestimate the 49ers, I am telling you. And there you go. It's been an absolute pleasure. Tucson means business, and boy, is it going to be business. The Arizona Sands Club, ladies and gentlemen, it's on, and I'm so looking forward to getting involved myself and going up there and being able to enjoy all the wonderful things, the food, the music, and everything else. So, Joe, I wish you well. This is a big thing for you.
Thanks, Mark. Yes,
You've done so much in your career, and, I wish you well with this. It's and the family, because you put everything into everything that you do, and this is